So good morning, students. Today we will see the transmission line parameters. And in the last classes, we explored about the parallel plate transmission lines. And finally, we estimated its lump parameters, which are RLGC. Now we'll see some other different kind of transmission line, particularly we'll see the estimation for the two-wire transmission line and the coaxial transmission line. So for both the transmission line, we'll estimate these lump parameters again. Now the thing is, here you can see these two transmission line, particularly the first one is the two-wire transmission line. There are two wires running parallelly, and in a coaxial line, we have an inner conductor and outer conductor. So conductors here involved for the propagation of the wave. So in this derivation, let us assume that the conductivity is very high, and if this is so one can assume R is equal to 0. Means the ohmic losses are 0. Now from the previous classes, we already have the idea about the propagation constant, and here you can see the definition of the same. And if particularly as per assumption that R is equal to 0, so this definition of the propagation constant could be modified, and we can rearrange like this, which is gamma is equal to j omega under root LC in bracket 1 plus g by j omega c to the whole power half. Fine. Now the thing is, this particular knowledge we already gained in the previous classes. Now here what we will do, because the transmission line which we are going to learn here, the two-wire transmission line and the coaxial transmission line. So in electromagnetics, in your UG time, I believe you already derived these lump parameters. So, but there is a problem actually there. We derived in the form of the material parameter. So it is a responsibility here that we should write those formulas and those outcomes in terms of the geometrical parameters as well as these lump parameters. Fine. So I believe you know these things. The propagation constant, which is gamma is equal j omega under root mu epsilon c. We have seen this definition in electromagnetics, and where epsilon c is equal to epsilon minus j sigma by omega. Now if you use this definition here, so you can rewrite your gamma here, which is gamma is equal j omega under root mu in bracket we have epsilon minus j sigma over omega. Fine. Now let us rewrite these things and rearrange above form in this way, which is gamma is equal j omega under root mu epsilon 1 plus sigma over j omega epsilon to the power half. Fine. Now you have two different gamma here. One is in terms of the lumped values, another is the material parameter. And if you see, the more or less the forms are similar, so better to compare it. Correct? Better to compare these two, I'm particularly saying this form and this form, if you try to compare, so you can estimate some of the relations. And these are G by C is equal sigma over epsilon 1. Another is LC is equal mu epsilon. So this is we already seen in our previous classes. Now, what we will do actually, we'll recall what we studied in a UG time, that particularly third semester year at electromagnetics theory. So there we derived some of the relations for two-wire system, which is two-wire system transmission line. Fine. So let us try to draw here. So cross section, let's say this is a cross section of the two wires. Fine. And this is the radius of each wire. And let us mention here the distance between these two wires is d. Now, if you check the book D.K. Chang, in a chapter number 4, you will find the complete derivation, what you perform in electromagnetic theory course. So, not to derive all those things, just recalling the things, these formulas, and I'm rewriting here and finally R is RS by pi a. These actually, these things we already derived in electromagnetic theory. Now here, what you can see, these formulas particularly, if you carefully see here, so you will find these formulas are actually coming with the geometrical parameters as well as the material parameters. You please check. Everywhere you will find the material parameter and the geometrical parameter, what I mentioned there. Now, because we have a very good relation we developed here, so those relations we can utilize, which is G by C is equal sigma by epsilon 1. Another is LC is equal mu epsilon. So these relations actually providing you a solution here to connect your lumped parameter as well as with your material parameter. Now these facts you can utilize to find it out the lumped values for two-wire system. Correct? In a similar way, you can also see for the coaxial transmission line. This is one of the very important transmission line, and in our daily life, we have many applications like for connecting the DTH cable, and so many other things. Correct, where the high frequencies and all the things are involved. And if I draw the cross section here, so there is an outer conductor here, as well as there is an inner conductor here. So let us say this is radius A and this is radius B. These are what? These are the conductor. These are the inner conductor and the outer conductor. And in between there is a dielectric media. Fine. So in chapter number 6 of D.K. Chang, what you can find the derivations particularly for this lumped component in terms of the material parameter. Fine. So I'm just rewriting these equations what we derived in fine. So these are actually the different lump parameter for the coaxial transmission line. So now we can recall these relations actually, and we can convert this equation in terms of the uh, lumped values actually, correct? So the thing is, you can find it out finally these parameters, uh, this LCRG parameter for different transmission line system. Fine. So this is all about the two-wire transmission line and the coaxial transmission line. Now let us discuss here one important thing is attenuation constant from power relation. So what I'm saying, the attenuation constant from power relation. Fine. So let us define alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is the attenuation constant, and easily you can define is a real part of gamma. What is gamma? Gamma is a propagation constant. So if you expand it, it will look like this: under root r plus j omega L and g plus j omega c. Fine. This is what we read actually in our previous classes. Now let us say here Vz is V naught plus e to the power minus gamma z. Fine. Let's say the wave is propagating in positive z direction. Now if you little bit expand this thing, so you can rewrite this as V plus e to the power minus, and this gamma you can replace with alpha plus j beta z. So these things we have seen. Fine. So let us make it V. Let us make it V only because there is no reflections. So better to write V naught. Fine. Now once we have the Vz, you can also estimate Iz. And Iz is V naught by Z naught e to the power minus alpha plus j beta z. Fine. So now you have the voltage wave and the current wave. Now what we can do with this too, we can recall the pointing theorem. We can recall it and we can estimate the power, average power. So Pz we can estimate with the help of this relation, half of real part of Vz Iz, and this is supposed to be complex conjugate. Fine. Now if you solve this, you have to utilize these two outcomes to solve this, and finally you can write half B naught square over Z naught square R naught e to the power minus 2 alpha Z. Please try to solve. This is one step solution here. Now let us recall a very basic thing, which is from law of conservation of energy. Conservation of energy. So what we can write actually here, that minus dou of dou z Pz is equal PLZ. What is that? So what we can say, the rate of decrease of Pz, okay, which is the average power with the distance along the lines equal to the time average power loss PLZ per unit length. Fine. I'm again repeating this thing. The rate of the decrease of Pz with distance along with the lines equal the time average power loss PLZ per unit length. Fine. So if you use this outcome here and if you differentiate, so you are getting 2 alpha Pz is equal PLZ. Now how we can define? Alpha is equal PLZ over 2PZ. This is Napier per meter. So experimentally we can perform these things. So alpha could be defined here as PL divided by 2PZ. Fine. So in this way, the attenuation constant can be defined. Now the thing is, this is all about the different lumped values, lumped parameters, sorry, for different kind of transmission line. And particularly we focused actually at initial level, the parallel plate transmission line, and we have seen the lumped parameter. Then after we used the already derived outcomes of the coaxial transmission line as well as two-wire system, and we used here to find it out the lumped parameter for this, and having the relation of what we discuss here. This is a green font. So this relation is really very important because if you have the sigma and epsilon, you can relate G and C. If you have mu and sigma, mu and epsilon, sorry, you can relate L and C. So once you have the L, you can find it out the C, correct? So with this actually, we can estimate the different lumped parameter. Now this is one of the tedious tasks actually, because when you see this is a very conventional or traditional type of transmission line. In a later stage, you will find that there are printed transmission lines are also there, and there are some special kind of artificial transmission line also there. So for that, we supposed to estimate these values, and these values have a, a very important meaning actually when we design the microwave circuits. Fine. So this with this basic knowledge, I think, is sufficient to understand the fact that how we can convert any distributed system into the lumped parameters, and particularly we can write the equivalent circuits. So with this part of calculating the various lumped parameter we calculated. Now further, what we will see with the transmission line, we never discussed about its input impedance as well as the voltage wave and the current wave over the transmission line. So in a coming classes or on Monday actually, we'll see that how you can estimate this voltage wave and the current wave followed by its input impedance of the transmission line if it is terminated with a different kind of loads. Right? So in today we'll keep this much, and in the next class we'll start the transmission lines and its calculation of voltage and current and input impedance. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, we can discuss.